I could go on and on.
I do not fully understand.
It's bullshit.
Let's get into trouble, baby. Let's get into trouble, baby.
Oh my.
Well, I got a great idea. Take your shirt off. Guys, we're just gonna have a great time together this afternoon.
Welcome back to Night Talk. Lie. My name is Midnight Mike, and I am joined by Clown Babies over there.
How about a little clown action?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Got a little clown action.
Smoke crack?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we do not smoke crack here on the show, or even after show.
Oh, yes.
No, we do not. No, we don't.
Brother.
No, we do not smoke crack on this show. This is the anti-crack show. How you been, Clown Baby? What's going on in your world?
Pretty good. I've been keeping it real, working, hanging out with the girlfriend.
Keeping it real, huh?
Yeah, so I was like, I told my girlfriend I was going to give up drinking for Lent, because Lent last year was like, oh, that's like 4 weeks, right? Turns out Lent this year is about 8 weeks.
Oh, my God.
Oh my.
So
How are you holding up?
Doing good. Last time I drank was last Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Couple Jack and Cokes.
Nice. Not bad at all. Do you still keep up? I know you haven't done the OBDM show in a while. It's been a while since we did Night Talk. Have you kept up on any of the cryptozoological stuff or paranormal or conspiracies?
Just the stuff that I hear in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been keeping up on current events and politics. I mean, I could talk more about that stuff and, I guess geopolitical conspiracies than I can about cryptozoology, unfortunately. I still have to read that young adult Bigfoot book that I got for Christmas.
Young adult Bigfoot? What is that?
Well, I mean, it's called like Bigfoot and Me, but it's like written for 8th graders because, like, I don't know. If it was in a normal book, like print, each page might be a paragraph. So
each page might be a paragraph? Okay.
Like, in like a normal book, yeah.
Well,
so you think it was that easy? I would have read it by now.
You should have been able to plow through that already. Yeah, I would imagine. Well, hey, get back on the train. We're going to be doing Night Talk a little bit more often. Maybe every 3 weeks or so, every so often. So we'll figure that out. On this episode, I'm going to be talking about the spring-heeled jack, cryptozoological kind of mysterious figure. I also got a story about some UFOs taking water, and I know you have a very special story for the end of the show.
Yes.
A very special story. Do you know anything about spring-heeled jack?
No, I do not. I probably should have looked it up the first time you mentioned it.
That's all right. I got a good chunk of information here. I'm just going to tell you everything I know about spring-heeled jack. Now, I've been doing quite a bit of research. Let me break out these books that I got. I don't know, you're not going to be able to see it until you look at the use or the YouTube stream. But here, this is what I'm digging through. Real quick here. I got 3 books that I'm plowing through for cryptozoological material. One of the ones is Encounters with Flying Humanoids. This just came out this year. Then I also have the complete books of Charles Fort, which is a huge book. It's like the size of a Bible. And this guy tracked paranormal and weird events in the 1800s in America. This really strange stuff. and a book that I keep going back to called Vanishings by Michael Harrison, which is where I really got reacquainted with Spring Heel Jack. Now, Spring Heel Jack, a.k.a. the Jumping Man, made his first...
Springfield.
Yes, thank you. Springfield. Springfield
Jack.
Springfield Jack made his first appearance, according to Michael Harrison in the book Vanishings, in 1837. He's also known as the Jumping Man because supposedly this guy could just jump around and leap around at incredible heights. This guy reportedly could just make a single leap of about 14 feet.
Definitely.
So this guy or creature liked to stalk women. And his first appearance, like I said, was 1837. And according to Michael Harrison...
They're really making this easy for Springfield.
Yeah. Really, it's an easy drop.
Okay,
Now,
but yeah.
according to Michael Harrison, the first encounter happened with a woman named Jane Alsop, and she was in her house. Her doorbell rang. She quickly grabbed a candle and lit it. Went down there, and she saw at her front door a figure wearing a black cloak, a tight-fitting, like one-piece, almost like kind of like a Star Trek kind of uniform, like a onesie, the kind of uniform that people from the future would wear, that kind of stuff. And he also had almost like a fishbowl kind of helmet, like a transparent fishbowl helmet with piercing red eyes. And this thing reached out to her, tried to grab her and molest her in some way, and she screamed, alerting a young man nearby, and she called the authorities. The authorities came over, the police, and this is like in the 1830s. So they came over, investigated, and it's like, okay, this is kind of BS. Like a guy wearing a cape with razor fingers and like that was wearing a fishbowl attacked you. Yeah, sure, whatever. But it turns out there was a similar report that in that same week from a butcher's assistant who interrupted this figure attacking his two sisters. And he said this butcher's assistant chased this Jumping Man, Springfield Jack, to a wall, and at this wall, this guy, the Spring Heel Jack, just jumped over this wall in one single bound. And according to what I in the book, is at least 8 feet tall. This wall, and just jumped right over it. And there are also reports that this creature, I'm just going to call it a creature, was also able to spit flames of blue and white. So you got a guy wearing a cloak with a whitish gray onesie. He's got a fishbowl head, piercing red eyes, and he's able to spit flame of blue and white, and his fingers came to points, almost like they're razors.
How does he spit flame with a fishbowl helmet?
I don't know. See, this is where there's some things that are kind of contradictory. Like, did he have a metal helmet where there are like slits in the helmet, or was it just give the impression that it was a helmet? All the accounts are somewhat similar, but that hasn't been kind of cleared up in either of the books. Like, so the first appearance, according to Harrison, that it happened right there with Jane Alsop. But according to the Encounters with Flying Humanoids, the book that just came out this year, it was with a person named Mary Stevens in the Clapham Commons of South London. And in this encounter, the Springfield Jack ripped at her clothing and tried to kiss her. So those are the common reports with this Spring-Heeled Jack character, is that he would target women and try to assault them. And with the Mary Stevens case, he reached out with his claw-like metal fingers and ripped at her clothing. I think tore out some of her hair, and tried to kiss her, almost in some weird way. The following day, this Springfield Jack jumped in front of a horse-drawn carriage, causing it to crash, all the while diabolically laughing and jumping and prancing off into the distance. And these reports happened over the years. Now, there were some laws, after the 1837 case, there were no more reports for about 8 years. And it kind of just died off a little bit. The authorities, like the entire town, knew about it. I mean, there were reports that were written up in the London Times. So this was it was a well-known phenomenon. And I have to think that the authorities knew about this, that they had to be quite concerned. People were being attacked. Girls are being slashed at and aggressively approached on the street by this fishbowl head guy. It's ridiculous. But in 1945, it was reported that people saw Spring Heel Jack throw a prostitute over a bridge, and she wound up drowning in a sewer in 1845. I'm sorry, 1845. Then in 1877, he was seen jumping from building to building with many different people in that area witnessing that this guy was just up on a roof, twirling about, jumping from roof to roof, almost as if he was trying to show off what he could do. And so the most, I guess, the most impressive, what I would consider impressive encounter was in 1877, where this jumping man was seen by two of the Queen Victoria's Redcoats on guard at a powder magazine facility in Hampshire. He approached them, started jumping up and down like a lunatic. And I don't know if he was trying to communicate with these guards, but he was just harassing them. I think Spring Heel Jack was actually just trying to troll these Redcoats.
I do not fully understand.
Yeah. So using their Martini Henry rifles, they drew on the spring-heeled jumping man, and they shot at him. They cracked off a couple shots to no effect. The bullets either bounced off of him or failed to take down this creature. They were brought up on charges. They were court-martialed. And at the time, since there were so many reports about the spring-heeled Jack, the judge advocate thought it was an extenuating circumstance, and the soldiers were let go. The judge
That's good.
Yeah, the soldiers were.
We're going to throw you in the brig for the rest of your life because you didn't kill the cryptid.
Yeah, or you accidentally shot somebody you weren't supposed to shoot. Yeah. But the judge actually sympathized with them and realized that they were under fear. They had in duress, and that firing upon this creature was well within their right, and he totally understood. So a court heard evidence, took into account that these sightings and the amount of fear that it caused was common sense, and so these soldiers firing weapons at this thing made sense to them. So they let them go, which is extraordinary. The one of the last known sightings, so it died off. There were a few more sightings after 1877. The last official sighting was in 1904, and that was in Liverpool, which was seen by hundreds of people. And this guy was just kind of twirling about on the roof, probably doing some kind of Mary Poppins routine. Then there's been quite a lull, and then the most recent sighting of the spring-heeled Jack was in 2012 by a family in South London while they were in their car. And they just witnessed this figure bounding off, leaping off in the distance. They claimed that was Spring-heeled Jack. So I just find this to be absolutely fascinating that there is there's basically a masked villain or helmeted villain going around the streets of London trying to assault women in the 1830s, 40s, 50s. And I did a little little research on Jack the Ripper to see if there's any correlation at all. As soon as I read that this Spring-Heeled Jack was accused of killing a prostitute, I was like, is there any connection to Jack the Ripper? And I couldn't find much other than that some of the sightings of Spring-Heeled Jack they happened within about an hour or 2 hour walk to some of the murders that happened in the 1880s that were attributed to Jack the Ripper.
Apparently, Jack the Ripper operated between 1888 and 1891.
Yeah, not a long time. But the Spring-Heeled Jack operated from 1830s to the late 1800s, 1904. And I just wondered, I can't find any correlation. There's none to be had other than the general location that this happened in London. And some of the sightings of Spring-Heeled Jack, South London, and most of the Jack the Ripper happened in a fairly confined area that is only about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours away from some of the sightings of Spring-Heeled Jack. And then, I mean, I don't know enough of the rumors around Jack the Ripper. Some people said it was a royal, maybe a surgeon. But when you had reports of the Spring-Heeled Jack having knife-like pointy fingers, and it's been rumored that Jack the Ripper used a straight razor or very precise instruments to do his killing, I want to make a leap in logic, although I have absolutely no evidence to tie these two things together. Well, you got any opinions on what I've told you so far? It's incredibly bizarre to have a masked costume character do these crimes.
Honestly, it kind of sounds like the Jersey Devil, how it just jumps around. People see it. It's going from roof to roof or bounding around. What was it? I have to look that up.
The Jersey Devil?
Jersey Devil.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder if the human consciousness and the human imagination of that time period directly impacts the type of paranormal activities you will have. Since these people, science fiction really wasn't a thing at the time. There's not a lot of people reading science fiction or fiction like that, like fantastical ideas. That these paranormal creatures or entities can only make themselves appear to what the common conception of the reality is. So you saw a person with a fishbowl head, with a cloak, and some weird fingers. Okay, that's conceivable in that day and age of the 1800s. But as you go on, the paranormal encounters like UFOs get more complex. They become much more futuristic or silvery. I just wonder if there's a correlation with time period versus paranormal encounters, and if the technology moves and the interaction moves because of people's imagination or what they think is possible. I got to believe that the human consciousness plays into this a little bit. I'll put the phone lines wide open, 614-388-9109, if you guys want to give a call in.
And it looks like the New Jersey Devil started out as a legend, I don't know, in the late 1700s in the area of New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, called the Leeds Devil. And but the main sightings looks like were in 1909. So a similar type of creature, I guess, kind of was sighted over in the U.S. throughout the 1800s.
Throughout the 1800s?
Yeah, blamed for livestock killings and stuff like that. But the big hysteria came in
Yeah, there's a lot of articles on Spring-Heeled Jack. You just type it in, and everything I talked about pretty much pops up on Google, and you can read all about it. It's just I want to.
It's one of the search results they won't filter. Good.
Oh yes, yeah. They put this one straight to the top. One of
Gotta read about him.
This article says that Spring-Heeled Jack mainly attacking women. The figure monster would ring a doorbell And when someone would answer, it would ravage their clothes with its claws. Other sightings have him simply ambushing people who are out walking. Some of the reports continued to trickle in throughout the rest of the year, with strange crimes being attributed to the assailants in the guise of a ghost, a bear, or a devil. These disparate reports would eventually lead to the theory that this mysterious monster might have been a group of well-to-do men dressing up and scaring people on a bet. Other reported the figure as wearing red shoes or armor. Now, I've heard like some people tried, like they thought that, well, this guy could leap so high and far because he had some sort of pneumatic or springs loaded in his boots, propelling them up and over like walls, like some sort of like flubber or some
like Steampunk Jack.
Yeah, like some sort of steampunk invention. And I did read reports that there were, I believe, certain German officers that paratroopers that would put springs in their shoes when they would drop out of planes, but I could not find any reports of anybody successfully making a contraption like this, like it was some sort of weird movie. I'll read the rest of this. Just kind of do a follow-up on, just to read down what this article has to say about Spring Heel Jack. Jack really took shape after two of his most well-known attacks, according to an account that was widely publicized at the time. February 1838, a man rang the door of Jane Alsop. That's what I talked about. Just days later, another attack took place in a different part of London. Lucy Scales is walking with her sisters when a shadowy man jumped out and also allegedly blew flames into her face, causing her to have some sort of seizure, which I didn't read in either of the two books I had. While many of the initial reports of Jack's attacks took place in outlying hamlets and villages, both of the Alsops and Scales cases took place closer to the city and received a great deal more attention, stoking the fires of Spring-Heeled Jack's legend. Their testimonies also informed what would become his popular look of a gentlemanly devil figure. So what are there any reports of what the Jersey Devil looks like other than
it was like it had bat wings, like kind of like horseshoes, but it was like long, kind of like a body, like kind of looked like a crane, but it had like a horse-ish kind of head. I'm going off memory.
Yeah.
Sure, Cretchen could find the classic picture of the Jersey Devil. If you just type it into Google, it'll come right up if he wants to show it in whatever you call that image, live image.
Cretchen is doing live images. He's down there in the lower
it turns
right-hand
out my
corner.
camera's on.
Yes. It's just pointed at the ceiling.
Yeah, it's looking at my closets.
Yeah. I thought that's what you wanted. I thought you wanted to show everyone your closet.
Yeah, it's fine. I got two over there.
All right.
614-388-9109. Maybe you guys know some more about the spring-heeled.
He found the Jersey Devil. It is David Putty.
Oh, yes. It is David Putty of Seinfeld. Yes. There we go. Let's move on to some other stuff. How about that? How about it, Crown Baby?
Sure.
Let's do this.
Oh, yes.
How about a little clown action, huh?
Come on, we're going to transition over.
This is special.
I do not fully understand.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got some more stories for everyone out there. Most definitely. We're going to get into some UFO stuff. I talked about this next story on the last OBDM show. I just didn't have time to get to it. All right? Just couldn't get time to get to this. And this is extraterrestrial steal about 40,000 liters of water.
Okay.
And they need it.
Have that water.
Yes. I can't even pronounce, but this comes from the South American Hispanic UFOlogy website, and I'm not even sure where this is at. Olavarria. I'm not going to even try to pronounce this.
Aloe vera?
It's not aloe vera. Shit! It's not. All right. Let's see. I wish I could pronounce. It's in Buenos Aires. And so that's right there near Buenos Aires. So for many days, the owners of the properties located in this district had been exchanging remarks on the appearances of black circles formed by a fine layer of ash over the grass not far from swimming pools. Upon touch, the ash was smooth and rubbery. What was odd was the disturbance of the circles formed perfectly equilateral triangles. We have seen in our possession a certain amount of the grass affected by this ash, which shall be submitted to scientific scrutiny. At first glance, it appeared to be impregnated by a soft, extremely fragile dust that is non-greasy, and it does not adhere to paper or even itself. The closest thing that comes to mind is pulverized graphite. In any case, its presence at this location is wholly inexplicable, as there are no industrial facilities nearby that could be sourced, and even if such a facility existed, we cannot visually see how ash would form repetitive circle geometric shapes without giving flight to fancy. So,
just for the chat, that's all I can move the camera. It's mounted. It's on a laptop mount, and all I can do is go up and down. So there you go. You can see my chair and part of my head.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing going on there, chat. Come on, you don't got to see everything. You don't got to see Clown Baby, please. So when it comes to these black circles near the swimming pools were mysteriously drains. Something that came out of the sky descended upon the earth and took as much water as it could. Local residents had already noticed missing water from their pools, but questioned their calculations or ascribed to its small fractures that all the cemented pools were afflicted with. But things got out of hand when a pool belonging to the employee club of the Banaco National branch, I guess some national branch, was completely drained of 40,000 liters of water. And that's where we started our investigation, of course. On the 6th of February, 1983, massively equipped with all still cameras, recording channels of video and audio recording gear, we reported to the bank branch in question, where we met with great difference by the bank officials and staff. So these guys were sent out on a mission to investigate what took 40,000 liters of water after there are already reports of water disappearing in the neighborhood from other people. So they go on. So the conclusion of this, after they did all their measuring, after they did all their instrument reading, this case will unquestionably enter UFO case histories as a classic and merits on being quoted by researchers worldwide. It offers no target for naysayers. Its purpose, its positive nature is impressive and can be summarized as thus. Qualified witnesses who attest to the inexplicable loss of 40,000 liters of water from a swimming pool in a single night. Over 5 landowners reported manifestations of black circles, the existence of geomagnetic alterations in at least one of the locations of the black circles, a clear and blunt statement from a priest concerning the sighting of UFOs larger than a soccer ball, self-luminous with powerful white light, a clear and concise reference by a priest to the existential superior who encountered 3 light sources of various colors in unknown province while fishing. So just a weird. I'll put this link up in. This is a long report. I'll put this up in the notes for this investigation. It's a long report. It's just impressive that they're able to measure something, and they had 40,000 liters of water missing. My God.
Well, we better blow whatever's down there before it blows us.
Yes. What are you going to say, Clown Baby?
No, I was just like, maybe it was translated or something. It just sounded like.
Yeah, it's translated from Portuguese.
Ah.
Yeah, it's translated from Portuguese. My apologies.
Right.
Yes, right. I got another story here. Let's see here. If Space Force won't fight aliens, who the hell will?
Um,
Who the hell will?
Hopefully, we still got
Excuse me.
Godzilla or Mothra.
Mothra can be deployed, I think. We can deploy Captain Planet, I believe, as well.
Well, the aliens build a giant bonfire, and then Mothra.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Mothra would just fly towards the sun, and that would be that.
Last week, military news sites Task and Purpose confirmed a disturbing fact. The newly created U.S. Space Force has no intention of fighting aliens. Despite the recent uptick in military UFO sightings, the Pentagon appears uninterested.
How fucking good are they?
Yeah. The Pentagon appears uninterested, at least officially, in the possibility of hostile aliens. But if an alien invasion does take place, which arm of the Pentagon would respond? The answer, probably all of them. During a recent Pentagon roundtable, Task and Purpose, Pentagon reporter Jeff Skogel asked if Space Force is concerned about threats posed by extraterrestrial intelligences. The official answer he got back was no. Skogel's question was asked with tongue firmly planted in his cheek. Why? Well, that's a perfectly valid question. Like, if you have a Space Force and if we encounter like aliens out there that are hostile, would Space Force fight them? I think that's a valid question. Why would he have to ask like that as a goofy question?
No, the aliens control us. Why would we fight our overlords?
And the Pentagon should have responded back. We don't know. We don't know if we would fight them. But they flat out said no. Like they've already met the aliens and they know that we can't fight them or we don't want to fight them.
Yes.
But the revelations last year that the U.S. Navy fighter jets encountered alleged UFO craft in 2004 and 2015, in both instances appearing on radar and leaving behind video evidence, makes one wonder if the unidentified flying objects described by Navy pilots as well as military and civilian personnel for the past 70 years are really extraterrestrial in origin and unfriendly. How could the Pentagon deal with them? We don't know.
Yes.
They don't know. If UFOs suddenly descend from the skies, toasting the Statue of Liberty, then the Great Mall of America, and the Golden Gate Bridge with death rays, the Pentagon would need to convey some sort of study group to quickly determine what kind of threat it was dealing with. If that happens, forget about the Air Force. Well, if you know what kind of threat they're dealing with, if they're able to melt bridges in the Statue of Liberty. So this bullshit from the Pentagon that they wouldn't fight back is just that, absolute BS. Why don't they just say back, yeah, we're developing some sort of defensive capability.
Maybe they're just such stick up their ass people, they just don't want to admit it because they're just a bunch of, sticks in the mud.
I would have to assume at this point
or they know more. Who knows?
I got to assume that they know more at this point and that it scares the shit out of them.
Yes, probably.
They can't say, we've identified that these UFOs are ultra-terrestrials. They live between dimensions, and they have a technology that is so incredible and fascinating that we can't even comprehend it, so we won't even be fighting them. Or
Fight like a man.
Yeah, please. Fight like a man, Bill.
I could go on and on.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Do it.
It goes on to say, if that happens, forget about the Air Force. Ironically, the service that would most likely lead the way is the U.S. Navy. Why the Navy? Aliens would likely come from vast distances, traveling light years in long-distance voyages to smash puny humans. The U.S. Navy is unique among the services in planning similar, though much, much shorter voyages. Both submarines and UFOs deal with pressure. In the case of submarines, the pressure is on the outside, while in space, the pressure is on the inside of the vehicles. So from an operational and technical standpoint, aliens and sailors would have a few things in common. So yeah, we're going to send up our finest seamen to take care of the alien threats, I suppose. There is another reason that the Navy might take the lead. 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. And if aliens operate from water, remember that the 2004 sighting included reports of a 737-sized object on the surface of the ocean. The Navy is unique in having manned aircraft, surface ships, and submarines prowling above, on, and below the surface of the ocean. The Navy could sail to the most remote locations of the world, establish a military presence for a week or a month to investigate and monitor the enemy activity. So that makes sense. And plus, the United States isn't the Navy it's the second oldest branch of the military, right behind the Army.
Yes.
Yeah. If humans could lure aliens into a set-piece battle, the Air Force could bring in a lot of firepower. But we don't want to do that. I mean, wouldn't we just have to assume at that point, if they're traveling millions of light years, just millions of miles, how about that? How about if they're just coming from Mars? If they're just coming from Mars, they have superior technology. And so we'd have to start negotiations right away.
No, we could send a bunch of rovers at them.
Yeah, we could send up a bunch of Mars rovers.
Suicide rovers. Drive. We'll have them go. They'll be driving right at the alien base on Mars, going like maybe about a mile a month.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think
the
so.
rover went slower than that. If you look at their course, like they covered, like it was something stupid. They only went like 30 miles in 20 years or something.
We're technologically light years behind anything that goes on. And I've been listening to some talks about this that I'll probably touch on in some future episodes of OBDM, of just what the military might know, and that there are what you would consider just extraterrestrials from outside of our solar system, like us, but just like thousands of years more advanced. And then there are entities that are interdimensional in nature, and I don't know if they can really tell the difference between the two. And if we're trying to deal with interdimensional creatures that can just kind of dip in and dip out as they please without like really using like technology that we could recognize, it would be impossible to battle. And I don't even know why you would want to. They're like living right next to us the entire time, and that's got to freak out the military in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, how? I mean, right? How could be anything biological extra?
Yeah, they would both be alien. I mean, I guess ultimately you'd care where they'd come from, but distinguishing the difference and
you first see him. Hey, wait a second. Are you an extraterrestrial? Or are you interdimensional?
No
to both. It would be it'd be extremely difficult to determine, one, if they're telling the truth, two, what their true intentions are, and three, if they would even respect us or respect our whatever kind of treaty that we would have to sign with them, or negotiation or non-aggression pact. It would be tough to determine what is real at that point. And so I suspect that there's multiple different government studies going on simultaneously. Like one was probably the Robert Bigelow, then the other branches of the military had very similar programs going on, and they all came to some sort of conclusion that we don't know what the hell is going on. But we got to build something.
Space Force that won't fight aliens, or they can't do it, or they won't do it. We don't know.
I mean, there's only a couple things we can hope for.
I hope you dump a lot.
Yes, that's about all.
I hope they do dump a lot.
Space Force.
You guys traveled all the way over from Alpha Centauri. You guys must have to shit.
I hope you dump a lot.
You got toilets on board. You're like all the reports from like Area 51 with Bob Lazar and like being inside these UFOs. There's no reports of any toilets being on any of these UFOs. Do these guys take craps or dumps or anything?
Maybe they have like designated shitting hallways, like they have shitting streets in India.
Yeah, they got a shit closet.
Just going there to take your dump, and I know it piled up.
It's been piled. I know you guys have been traveling for several light years. You guys got to be really backed up. There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's no mention of it.
You ever see how they shit in the International Space Station?
No, how do they do it?
They they have this. It's like a vacuum, but it doesn't prolapse your colon. But you shit like your bowel strength enough to push it out of your body, but it'll just float there because there's no gravity. So they have this kind of vacuum you kind of sit on and you shit into it and it sucks it into this septic thing. And essentially they just, whenever one of the pods, they switch off crew, they pack, I think this this module they jettison that'll burn off on re-entry when they go through the Soyuz. So essentially they just pack all the garbage and shit and stuff and these biohazard things from their shit vacuum. They put it all into this one storage area on the Soyuz, and they go back, they jettison it, and we just burn all those dirty shit up in the atmosphere.
They just throw it down back to Earth?
Yeah. Return to sender. Yeah, Crutch's got it there. Look at that thing.
Yeah. I want one, actually. Seems efficient.
I vacuum poo.
When I was one of those... can you look up, how much does a space toilet cost? I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to know I'm surprised some eccentric billionaire hasn't installed. I'm surprised Zuckerberg doesn't have a space toilet in the conference room at the Facebook.
Yeah. So apparently NASA agreed to pay $19 million for a Russian-built toilet system for the International Space Station.
19?
For a shit vacuum.
$9,240,000,000.
Ooh.
On YouTube, there's a tour of the International Space Station, a half hour long. One of the astronauts takes you through it. I think that one with that looks like it has that metal can in the middle and that little seat. I think that's the actual one. They just have this little, curtain they put up because smell kind of stays with you on the space station. They just kind of baby wipe down, and you eventually just sit there stewing in your own stink when you're doing work.
Wow, Jesus Christ!
But we don't know.
I would.
I'd love to be an astronaut.
It's still. The question still is there with these UFOs. Where are their toilets? Do they not need them? Are they just biologically?
Apparently, they're $19 million. Maybe they got cheap.
Yeah.
Here's some paper bags.
Aliens. We spent all the money on building UFO on propulsion. There's no toilets. We forgot about that. So
we have these Walmart bags we found every year. So.
614-388-9109. Those phone lines, for some reason, they're open.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh boy. There's a documentary out that I'm going to be watching. It's called Third Eye Spies. It is about the remote viewing program that the government was involved in, psychic spies, and all that good stuff. I'll probably be pulling some clips for some future shows here. It just came out, I believe, within the past few weeks. So check it out. I think you can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, you got to watch that shitty John Wayne Gacy movie called Gacy. You just watch the first 10 minutes and you'll just want to turn it off. But the opening scene, once you watch it, you'll see what I mean by how hilarious it is.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. It's called Gacy?
Yep, just GACY.
Is it just a bad movie?
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the opening scene is supposed to be him when he's 12 years old and his father, but they use an adult actor for the kid and kind of I guess maybe he was a midget because the 12-year-old has a full 5 o'clock shadow and looks really fat, like Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. It's just terrible. The 12-year-old has more facial hair than me.
He must have had a lot of testosterone growing up. Got that extra hormone boost.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I got that story you sent over to me. You want to do it?
The New Zealand one?
Yeah, let's take a look at this one. This will be the last story of the evening.
Oh boy. Well, we're at 8:45. We can probably do this and maybe
we'll see what else we got.
Yeah.
All right, this is the tale of the USB stick found in frozen seal poop gets weirder. Okay. This is probably the weirdest set of coincidences in my life, says the owner of a USB stick found in a lump of frozen seal poop. Here's how it unfolds. In December of 2017, sea lion volunteer Amanda Nally found an alien sea lion on the beach of New Zealand's South Island and phoned a hotline. While the animal was being examined, Nally spotted the sea lion's feces. Just spotted the feces randomly?
Oh, look at that shit.
Which was collected and sent to a lab, explains The Guardian. When the scientists finally got around to looking at the frozen specimen, finally, they must have been bored. It must have been like a Friday, like 3 o'clock on a Friday.
You want to look at the seal poop? Yeah, screw it. Let's do it.
Break out that shit. Finally, we can finally take a look at this. Shit! When the scientists,
let's look at the seal poop and let's go to happy hour.
When the scientists finally got around to looking at the frozen specimen, they found the USB stick inside. Found a USB stick inside. Then put the footage on TV to find the owner. Okay. Nally saw it on the nightly news and realized the USB stick was hers. She was shocked per news hub, but assumed that she had dropped the stick in the sample. However, researchers from the National Institute have a wilder theory. Because the stick was embedded deep into the seal shit, which also contained plenty of feathers, researchers are convinced that a bird ate the USB stick and then the leopard seal then ate the bird. And then, bizarrely, I came along and, there's a sample. We need to send it in to be processed. Nally tells The Guardian, which got confirmation of the theory from researchers. So wait, a bird stole her USB stick, ate it, and then the seal ate the USB stick, ate the bird, shit it out. She saw this alien seal, looked at the crap, and said, hey, we got to send that.
And she was like, I need its crap.
I got to send this crap in. Shit! This has got to be one important USB stick here. Did she get it back? Did they send it back to her?
I think so.
The stick hidden in the sample,
so.
kept in the scientists' freezers for more than a year, contained footage of a very cool moment in which Nally watched two seal line pups from her blue kayak. But as Nellie already has copies of the video, she doesn't want the stick back. Why does she want the stick back? It's hers.
I would demand it back.
I would sue.
Let's litigate.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, this story.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bunch of shit, man.
It very well could be a bunch of crap. It seems very unlikely.
Hey, I just wanted you to know that I wrote a song for you.
Oh, cool.
Oh, good.
Do you want the parent guardian version first, and then the mature version second?
Yeah. Let's do the family friendly version, and then the one where you put in all the curse words. Sure.
Okay. Well, it's not too long of a song, and it's a rap song.
Oh, good.
So here it goes, man. Went downtown to see my old lady. Hit her in the rear. Said she had my baby. Mature version. Went downtown to see my old lady. Fucked her in the rear. Said she had my baby. Bump, 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 bump. Shit!
You ought to go into hip-hop.
You like it?
How long did it take you to write that magnificent song?
Well, I wrote that a long time ago.
How could you have done this?
I've been waiting to put it on air, for my millions of dollars.
Well, I appreciate you debuting this year. Do you go around the house and sing this to yourself all day long?
I do. Hey,
do
by
you
the way,
really?
This is Leon.
I like it. Hey, Leon, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I haven't called in a while. I just wanted to say hi. I usually call in about serious conspiracy shit, but I'm getting sick of all these lies, man. There's so many of them, I don't even want to talk about them anymore.
Okay, well, we don't talk about the lies, but I know you talk about the UFO stuff. You talk about paranormal stuff, and dealing with
flat Earth. flat Earth.
Yeah, dealing with the conspiracies.
Dog man.
What are you sick of? Just tell me what you're sick of.
I'm just sick of the fact that everyone is asleep. 97.5% of Americans have their heads up their asses, and I'm sick of it. No one wants to. They just let all this shit news and all these lies and all this bullshit they just take it for face value, and they don't even think that there could be anything wrong with it.
That's for damn sure.
It drives me crazy. No one cares. And I mean, I've said before, I can understand why, but they've got us strangled in an economy where you got to go to work and come home and play with the kids and go to bed and get up and go to work and come home, play with the kids, go to bed. It's just. And so most people, I'm retired, so I have time to do this. Now, I even thought about this stuff while I was working too, but I'm just passionate about it, about the fact that this is going on. But I can understand why people have their heads up their asses, but it just really frustrates me. And that, I just get tired of really trying to even turn people on to some of these newer ideas that aren't really newer ideas. They're reality to me, but no one seems to want to listen. But I'm trying to get my head up my ass, and it's
trying for years.
I've been trying, and you can't convince anybody to do anything they don't want to do. You can't convince them that certain paranormal things are real, or I realized that over the past few years. There's no point in arguing with people trying to convince them of what you believe reality is. They got to come to it on their own, and if they don't, then that's the life that they choose to live. That's the Instagram society we live in, where people are really consumed with posting up pictures of themselves.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
By the way, I just wanted to say that I'm really happy for you there in Arizona. I can tell that that's really uplifted you. Is it your girlfriend or your right?
My fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting married.
I'm happy I just wanted you to know I'm happy for both of you, because I can tell, that you're really high on being there and stuff. So that's cool. And then is it your brother there with you now?
Yeah, Clown Baby's here.
The cranberry guy.
Yeah.
How about a little clown action?
Yeah. Because I'm from Sewickley in Pittsburgh. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. You've called him before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know where he's coming from. I went to Edinburgh up there. You know where that is, right?
Yeah, I know.
What is your brother's name?
Is Clown Baby?
Clown Baby. Yeah. He knows where that is.
Night Clown today.
That was years and years and years and years ago. But anyway. Listen, I am happy for you, Mike, and I just want to call and say hi.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy here, and we're having a good time here in Phoenix. Right now, the weather is amazing. Talk to me in July. And I'll be probably right here doing a podcast, melting before your eyes.
Keep your eyes up, man. There's a lot of shit going on in the skies over there.
Dude, we do. Every time we're out, we're looking up. It's beautiful skies down here, but if there's a great place to spot UFOs, it is right here in Arizona. Absolutely. In fact,
you are there, man. You are there.
We are going to be...
well, listen, I know you guys are signing off soon, so I'm going to let you go. But
cool, man.
I'll talk to you and Joe again soon, okay?
All right, bye, Leon. Take care.
All right, bye.
Yeah, speaking of UFOs, Clown Baby, when you come out to my wedding, we're going to be doing that UFO night vision goggle tour.
Definitely. I'm very excited for that. Fun fact, I remember I wanted to go to Contact in the desert 2 or 3 years ago, and we found out it was like in Joshua Tree, which is in the middle of the I don't know, it might be the Sonoran Desert in California. It's in the middle of desert in California.
Yeah,
you're right.
Mike's like, I can't go. I don't do well in the heat. And then you moved to Arizona.
Yes. Well, I showed myself. The Contact in the desert is actually coming up, but
it's super expensive.
It's like $300 a day, and if you want to go to the International UFO Convention, you can just stay with me, and we'll just go to the one here in Phoenix. And that might be a little bit cheaper, especially if we don't have to pay for accommodations and pay for to see George Norris. I can't imagine
it's $300 a day. $300 a day is ridiculous.
It's insane, and with that price, you don't even get to see George Norris sing for free.
How much? I think it was like $35, and I got to see David Paulides and all those, like Nick Pope and what's his name, Travis Walton.
Yeah,
at MUFON in Pittsburgh. So $300. Jesus, what do you? David Politis going to show you his glory hole he found?
I'll give you $10,000.
No, it's only 300, Hulk. You don't got to give 10.
Hulk always highballs people.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll give you $14,000.
Yeah,
I needed 300.
You could get into the entire event for 300 per day. It's okay. Oh boy. Yeah, we got a few minutes. I don't know. 614-388-9109. If anyone wants to call in, we're just kind of sitting around BSing. This is the first night talk in a while. We're gonna get our night.
What was the last
back.
one?
Last one, I did a quick one when I got here to Phoenix in December, but it's been a month or two. And I'd like to do more of these cryptozoological kind of things, this kind of long form stuff. Yeah, I know the second story I read, not good. Don't take translated articles from Portuguese and try to do that on the fly. That's not a good one. No. That's not a good one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. But the research stuff, like the flying humanoids and cryptozoological stuff, I got a lot of stuff on that, big time. So, I don't know. Is there anything we got to get to, Clown Baby? Is there anything we gotta say to wind us down?
I emailed you some poop story from New Zealand that just happened.
A new poop story?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do one last poop story.
I just have the picture like halfway, 3/4 of the way, maybe or 2/3 of the way down the article. They had the guy like caught on camera. It's great.
Okay. Stranger's disgusting act in front yard caught on camera. Homeowners were left disturbed after their security camera filmed a man walking through their front yard before pulling down his pants and defecating next to their house. Footage of the incident shows the stranger trespassing on the Sydney property with a roll of toilet paper in hand. Oh, he came prepared. He's strolling around a neighborhood with toilet paper. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, it's Booty Rooter.
Hey, Booty Rooter. What's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm super excited the Night Talk's back on after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
But I wanted to point out, I've been posting a bunch of stuff in the story ideas in the Discord, because I just switched over to the Discord primarily.
Okay.
And so I'm posting a ton of stuff and wondering, like, because I did post something about a cryptozoological thing a while ago. But if you have like a specific place that you want to stick stories like that, I definitely can sign into the Slack or whatever you want.
No, I think that's a good idea for now. I did not know that Discord channel was over there, so I'll take a look at that. I got to go through all the the Slack stuff. There's a conspiracy channel in Slack, and if there's one on Discord, yeah, I'll be mining it all.
Yeah,
and I'll be kind of
this whole between Slack and Discord, it's getting everybody's all over the place. So
I know I'm
not surprised.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. So yeah, I'm going to be letting.
I agree.
I'm going to be giving people heads up about what the possible subjects are on upcoming shows. So if they have anything in mind, then cool. So
like you put a call out for cryptozoological stuff from the Victorian era, and I dumped Spring Heel Jack and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm glad that got followed up on.
Yeah, awesome, man. So cool. Yeah. Well, hey, man, thanks for calling in.
Well, no problem. Oh, and everybody, make sure you vote for my song "Taxation is Theft."
That's right. You can still vote for the OBDM audio context in Slack and Discord. All right. Have a good night.
And Discord. Night, guys. Bye.
There he goes.
He's a man.
How do you know people aren't voting in Slack and Discord?
I don't know. It could be a complete nightmare tallying votes.
It'd be like having
voter fraud.
It's like you have two precincts. You can vote at the courthouse or the VFW. You can actually vote at both. Yeah, it's really poorly managed voting. It's a total. In fact, you can vote at any precinct in your state.
it's totally not put together well at all.
Try and finish that story real quick. There's just a photo that's just like 2/3 of the way down.
Okay, yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's walking up to the property with a roll of toilet paper in his hand and then walking away.
The one below it.
The guy, is that a real picture?
I don't know. It says the poo jogger has been outed as hotshot businessman Andrew Douglas McIntosh. Photos Steve Smith. So maybe that's him.
Maybe that is really him. Hotshot businessman. The residents of the apartment block in southeastern Brisbane say someone has been defecating on their path by night for more than a year. Man, this guy loves the shit outside.
Night shitter.
He is a night shitter. My God. This is some kind of sick thing. I don't. It's not. Look at him. He's just hunched over. Is he posing for the camera here? Like, I would be
Is
like.
he the distant cousin of the Akron Pooper?
Maybe. We'll take this. Caller, you're here. You're the last caller. Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
That was it.
Hot dogs, $2.40 a pound.
All right, everyone. Well, this is the first night talk in a while. We'll be back sometime soon with some more stories.
Well, it's not funny anymore.
Well, okay.
Be a part of the magic.
You can go to obdmpod.com, ask to get into Slack or Discord, subscribe to the Patreon. I'm going to put the audio-only version of this up on Patreon. There's a special RSS feed for people there. I'm going to be seeing it. I got to determine if Subscribestar has anything akin to a private RSS feed or not. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Thank you, Clown Baby.
No problem. I'll be around. I might call in maybe this Saturday. I don't think I'm doing much.
Yeah, call in this Saturday. We'll get together and do some Zomboid soon.
Yes. Let me know.
The shampoo.
Yes, the shampoo.
Oh, yes. Ooh.
What is your problem?
All right,
Can you handle that?
Thank you, everyone, for hopping in this night talk. Chablagoo.
Chablagoo.
Goodbye.